Okay, let us begin. Right. So last class, what we did is we talked about elimination method. Right. So we talk about Gaussian elimination. Right. I did an example of Gaussian elimination, and then I gave you an exercise as well. Right. So now I recall the example I did in the class. Right. So now I only focus on the coefficient matrix first. Right. So let me focus on the coefficient matrix A only. Right. So this is what I did in that example. Right. So I eliminate the components below the diagonal in the first column by doing row operation. Right. For that, I multiply the row 1 by a certain number and subtract it from row 2. Then I multiply row 1 by a certain number and I subtract it from row 3. And after the completing the first step, I try to eliminate the element below the diagonal on the third row, right, on the second column. So for that, I multiply by the second row by a constant, a suitable constant, and subtract it from row 3. Right. So this is what exactly what we learn as Gaussian elimination. Right. So here what we do is we have multipliers M21, M31 according to the notation I use in the theorem, right? So we have M21, M31, and this one M32, right? So these are my notations, right? So these are my formula. So what I am going to do is I know that this is my U, right? After doing this, you know that you get a U, right? Which is an upper triangular matrix, which looks 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, and 0, 0, 1, right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these multipliers to develop a lower triangular matrix, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to develop a lower triangular matrix, L. So that has a special property. So it is lower triangular matrix. So automatically it will have, I will set this as it has 1 along the diagonal, right? And here I use the multipliers, right? So here I use the multipliers as the lower triangular part, right? The multipliers I developed or I computed in the Gaussian elimination as the terms on the lower triangular part, right? So then M21, M31, M32 are here. I put 1 along the diagonal, right? So that I standardly put that. Right? So this is called a unit lower triangular matrix. Right. So this is called a unit lower triangular matrix. It is a lower triangular. At the same time, it has ones along the diagonal. Right. So that has a special name called unit lower triangular matrix. Right. So what we have, what we are going to see is what will happen when you multiply this unit lower triangular matrix with this upper triangular matrix, right? So I'm going to do that multiplication here, right? So I'm going to do the multiplication here. So my unit lower triangular matrix is 1, 0, 0, M21, that is 1, right? Because M21 is 1 here, right? M31 is 1. Here I already have 1, right? And this is M32 is 1, right? 0, and I have 1 here. And then I multiply this with the other matrix, U, right? So you know that I am trying to find what is L times U, right? L times U is what? That is what I want to find. Right? I am trying to find L multiplied by U. L is this, so I can substitute the terms, and U is that. So 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1. So I have a lower triangular matrix multiplied by upper triangular matrix, right? So I can put the terms here, right? Row into column 1, right? Row into column 1, row into column 1. Now this row into column, right? 1, this row into column 1 plus 1, 2, this row into column again 1 plus 1, 2. Now this row into this column 1, this row into this column 2, 1 plus 1 is 2. This row into this column 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3. So in this example, you can see that when I multiply the unit lower triangular matrix, which is being made by using the multipliers as the lower triangular term, with the upper triangular matrix we obtained by doing the Gaussian elimination, we see that when we multiply L with U, we get the A back. And if you look at this, you get the A back, right? So that is A. So this example shows you a factorization of A, right? So you can use Gaussian elimination to split the matrix into two matrices. One is a lower triangular matrix, especially it is a unit lower triangular matrix, and U is the upper triangular matrix which you obtain by using Gaussian elimination, right? So this is an interesting result. So now, for example, we verify that it is working or not. It is working, right? So now what we have to do is we have to prove that when you multiply the unit lower triangular matrix, which is constructed like this, and the upper triangular matrix obtained by Gaussian elimination, right? We get A back, right? So that is called LU factorization of A, right? So that is what we are going to study next, right? The LU factorization of A. Right, so this is what we did. Given an n cross n matrix, we apply Gaussian elimination to reduce it to an upper triangular matrix U, right? Right, so these multipliers used in the Gaussian elimination, right, forms a unit lower triangular matrix L, right? Right, so these lower triangular terms, right? So Mij's forms the lower triangular terms in a unit lower triangular matrix, right? So what we are going to do is we are going to prove that. So by this example, we see that we have written a formula, right? Right. So now what we are going to do is we are trying to show that LU is equal to A, right? So the lower triangular matrix, which is unit lower triangular matrix, which is obtained by using the multipliers multiplied by the upper triangular matrix, which we obtain by using the Gaussian elimination, gives you A, right? So when you multiply them together, you get U. So let us see how we can prove this, right? So we have to show that LU is equal to A. So example verifies us that, okay, L times U is A, right? Example is fine, but we have to prove it mathematically. So we shall use the notations which we defined already, and then we will prove it, right? Okay, so okay, so first thing, right? So in this multiplication, right? LU is equal to A, right? According to matrix multiplication, you all know that, right? Ij term of A is obtained by right ith row of L multiplied by jth column of U gives you the ijth component of the multiplication LU, which is A, right? So that is the basic theory in matrix multiplication. When you multiply two matrices together, you multiply the row of the first matrix with the column of the other matrix to get the corresponding component in the multiplication, right? So first row multiplied by first column gives you the element A11. First row multiplied by second column give you the element A12, right? So that is what we get, right? That is how you do it. So in arbitrary multiplication, you can see that ith row of L multiplied by jth column of J U will give you the ijth component. So let us write down the ith row, right? So this, you know that ith row is in the matrix Mi1, Mi2, right? It is a unit lower triangular matrix, right? So on the diagonal term, Mi should be 1, right? So Mi I minus 1, right? And then Mii should be 1, because the way you write the unit lower triangular matrix, right? So you have terms on the below the diagonal, right? And on the diagonal you have 1, and beyond diagonal you have 0, right? So you then after that you will have all 0, 0, 0. You multiply this with the column of U. U is an upper triangular matrix, right? So U 1j, first component is first row jth column. Second component is U2j, right? Second row jth column. You are looking at the jth column only, right? So all the way up to Ujj, and this is the diagonal term, right? And then because it is an upper triangular matrix, everything below the diagonal should be 0, right? So then you have 0 all the way up to 0, right? So this is how you have the ijth term of the matrix A, right? So the matrix A, the ijth term is this, right? Okay. So now you should understand one thing, right? So what you have as Uij is, right? So you know that your U looks like this: A111, A121, all the way up to A1N1, right? 0, A222, all the way up to A222, right? 0, 0, all the way up to ANNN, right? So this is what we get at the end of Gaussian elimination, right? So you remember this is what we did last time, right? After finishing the Gaussian elimination, we get a matrix, upper triangular matrix U, which look like this. And these are the terms we name as Uij, right? So if I take the jth column, it is going to be like this, right? So Uj1, so actually this is what you are going to have. U1j is basically A1j1, right? U2j is equal to A2j2, right? All the way up to some UKJ is AKJK, right? All the way up to UN, so UNJ is 0. So finally, UA, so this is how your term is going to look like, right? So after UJJ, you will get all 0. So that's, you don't need to worry. So above diagonal, these are your terms, right? A, K, J, K is the term associated with Ju, K, J, right? So that also you have to keep in mind when you are doing this multiplication, right? So now what you are doing is you are focusing on a multiplication which look like this: row times column, right? So you know when you multiply the row by column, this multiplied by this plus this multiplied by this plus so and so and so. This is how you are going to have the multiplication, right? So now I is different and j is different, right? So you can have two cases. One is I might be smaller than j, or I might be bigger than j, right? So you have to verify this multiplication in both cases, right? So let us do one by one. Right? So if I is less or equal to k, if I, sorry, j, if I is just less or equal to j, then you know the number of terms here is smaller than the number of terms here, right? So the equal case is same number of terms, right? So let us consider the best possible case, that is the equal case, right? So then right? So the if I is less or equal to j, right? So the maximum I can go is j, right? If I is equal to j, right? So then these two has equal terms or this has lesser terms, right? So that is what you have. And so then this is actually when you multiply this is the best possible case you can have, right? So let me write down this in the multiplication form, right? So this is basically summation of k running from 1 to I minus 1 mik into ukj plus ujj. Okay, so that is what you have. Not jj, you ij, no, that is the best case, ij, sorry. So maximum what you can go is uii, right? So in that case the maximum you can go is uii, right? So that's how your terms look like. So now according to this, right, the notation which we use, ukj is equal to akjk, right? According to the notation we use, right, ukj is akjk, right? Similarly uij is going to be aiji, not one I, yeah, aiji, right? So according to this notation, right? But if you look at the formula, right, so this is what you have, right? But right, so if you look at the formula, right, after evaluation this is how you get the terms, right? The present term is equal to previous term minus the corresponding multiplier multiplied by the diagonal term, right? So that is what you have for the corresponding or the row which we use for elimination, right? So in the kth step you use the kth row for elimination. So present term is equal to previous term minus multiplier times the corresponding term in the row which we are using for elimination, right? So this is how we write the formula. So mik times kj is equal to this. Right, so because mik times akjk is equal to aijk minus aijk ijk plus 1, right, according to that formula, right? Now if you simplify this, when you put k is equal to 1 you get aij1 minus aij2, then aij2 minus aij3, right? recursive formula, right? So when you write, you can write it down and cancel the terms, right? If you do all the things, right, what you have at the end is Aij 1. And so that is what you have at the end, right? Because Aij 1 minus Aij 2 plus Aij 2 minus Aij 3 all the way up to Aij I minus 1 minus Aij I, and there is another Aij I. So all of them cancelled out except the first term. So that is Aij 1. Right? According to the notation, Aij1 is the notation we gave for the initial matrix A. Right? So this is same as Aij. Right? That is the corresponding component in A. Right? So that is the first case. Right? The first case is when I is less or equal to j. Right? So we see that this summation, this multiplication gives you the corresponding element in the matrix A. Right. So next we have to show that the same thing works for the I greater than j case as well. Right. So let us do that. Now the other case, I greater than j case, right? Then so I greater than j, right? So before you get to do j, right? After that, you have all the elements 0 on ujj. So only a few number of mij's are going to come. Right? So that is m1i or i1. I1. Because I is greater than j, right? But after ujj, all of them are 0. So when you multiply mij time with ujj, after that, everything will be 0. Right? So this is same as this. Sorry, 1 to j. Right? So I write the term separately. Right? mik minus this and this. Okay. Now, same formula. Okay. So when you do this, same arguments, right? So here, right? So what you have is this. Okay, now come the trick, right? So when you do this, you get aij1 minus aij2, aij2 minus aij3, all the way up to aij minus 1 minus aij. But here you have mij into aij j, right? So if you carefully look at how we did the Gaussian elimination, right? And how we do the other things, right? So you can see that, right? So this is basically this, right? So let me write it down. Right? And this one is okay. So when you do this again and again and again, you will end up with aij1 minus aij all the others cancelled out, right? And then mij aij according to that formula, right? So that is aij k plus 1, right? And sorry, j plus 1. Also aij j minus aij j plus 1, right? You are looking at I greater than j, right? So I is greater than j. So in that case, aij is a term below the diagonal, right? So aij j plus 1 should be a term below the diagonal. But because of the elimination, you know this one will go to 0. This one should be 0. So if you evaluate everything else, you will end up with aij1, right? So this is because of the way we do Gaussian elimination, right? So if you look at the Gaussian elimination carefully, you can see that this one goes to 0. And so this is again aij1, which is aij. So in both cases, we prove that the ijth component of the matrix multiplication gives you the corresponding component in A, right? Right. So by what we prove so far is when I is less than or equal to j, we show that the ijth component of this multiplication is ijth component of A. And when I is greater than j also, the ijth component of the multiplication is the ijth component of A. So in both ways, we show that the ijth component of LU is same as ijth component of A, right? Hence, A is equal to LU. Okay. So this is how we prove that the Gaussian elimination leads to a factorization A is equal to LU. So now what we are going to see is, we are going to see how we can use this LU factorization to solve a system, right? So right, so you want to solve a system Ax equal to B, right? So we will see how we can use that to solve Ax equal to B, the LU factorization, right? So you know that Ax equal to B, so Lu times x is equal to B because A is Lu. So you write Lu times x is equal to B, right? So when you write Lu times x is equal to B, you can convert this into two systems, right? One is when you set ux is equal to C, right? You get a system, right? L times C is equal to B. So you have two systems, one an upper triangular system and then a lower triangular system. So here what we do is right. So here what we do is we solve two systems. First a lower triangular system LC is equal to B, and then the upper triangular system UX is equal to C, right? So let me go back to the first example I did in the class, right, and show you how we can do this. So this is what I gave: 1 1 1 1 2 2 1 2 3 x1 x2 x3 is equal to 3 5 6. This is the example I gave you, right? So now I want to solve this system, but I know I have L, which is 1 0 0 1 1 0 1 1 1, and I have a U, which I have as 1 1 1 0 1 1 0 0 1, right? So these I already computed, so I know them, right? So these are my L and U, right? So what I do is first I solve this system. LC is equal to B. So I write 1 0 0 1 1 0 1 1 1, right? C is something I don't know, so I name it C1 C2 C3 is equal to B. B is 3 5 6. So here in this method you can see that I don't need to do the elimination in B, right? So in Gaussian elimination, originally what I did is when I convert A into U, I convert B also into C. But here in LU factorization, you don't need to worry about B. You only do the elimination for A, the matrix A, and convert it into LU, right? And then you solve LC is equal to B to get C. So here you can start solving from first equation, right? So this is called forward substitution method. Forward substitution method. What you do is you start from first equation. First equation give you C3, C1 is equal to 3. And then you go to the second equation. Second equation give you C1 plus C2 is equal to 5. So from this you can get C2, that is 2. And then you go back to third equation. Right, so that gives you C1 plus C2 plus C3 is equal to 6. From this, you get C3 is equal to 1. Okay, so you get C3 is equal to 1. And then what you do, you solve the upper triangular system. Ux is equal to C. Okay, then you use this 1 1 1 0 1 1 0 0 1 times x is x1 x2 x3 is equal to C. Now your C is 3 2 1. So this, by back substitution, you already solved this. So you can write the answers again as similar way. Right? This is called back substitution, solving this. So third equation, right? X3 is equal to 1, and then you know x2 is equal to 1 and x1 is equal to 1. Right? So this is how you solve by using LU factorization. Right? So here the difference is this. In the problem, right, first when you only do Gaussian elimination, you ended up with this system, right? This you do by doing these eliminations here, right? So you are doing eliminations in the matrix in the right hand side vector as well. But when you go for LU factorization, you get to this, right? Get to this without doing the elimination by just solving the matrix system, right? So that is the difference. So I will write that as a remark. Right, so in the LU factorization, this is the difference, right? So when you try to solve by using LU factorization, what you did is you avoid using the elimination in B. Instead, you apply a matrix system, solving a LU factorization matrix system, right? So that in a way for larger size matrices will reduce the amount of computation, right? If you go Gaussian elimination for A and B, that requires more multiplications, right? Here, when you go for this, this requires less number of multiplication, right? So that is called operation count. So we will talk about that and some other properties of this elimination process in the next class. 1 o'clock class also I will teach, right? The other applied courses, they will start from tomorrow. So I will teach today 1 o'clock class also. I will send you the link later, right? So we'll stop here and then continue at 1 again.